Yeah, so welcome, my viewers. Yeah, so our today's lesson, we are also going to cover topic surds. Topic surds. Topic surds is in form 3. Surds is in form 3. And we are going to learn the part of rationalizing the denominator. Rationalizing the denominator. So the question is provided here. And we have this. So without using a calculator or mathematical tables, simplify by rationalizing the denominator. Simplify this one by rationalizing the denominator. So I want us to understand what do we talk of rationalizing. The key word there is rationalizing. So rationalizing is where you make the denominator a whole number without the root. You want us to remove these roots, or you want to rationalize the denominator. So we want to express this surd equation without the root sign. We rationalize. And step number 1 is to identify the numerator and the denominator. So we have 3 root 2 minus root 3. All over 2 root 3 minus root 2. All these terms are all in the simplest form. This is 3 root 2, you can't simplify further. Root 3, you can't simplify further. 2 root 3, you can't simplify further, and the root 2. Therefore, that's step number 1, to identify if you can be able to, if it is simplified to the last step, or in its simplest form. So then the next step, you work out, you check the denominator now. By rationalizing, there is something that you call conjugate. The conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of the denominator, if you have 2 root 3 minus root 2, the conjugate of the denominator is a factor of difference of 2 squares. The other factor, this is 2 root 3 minus 2 minus root 2. So the conjugate is equals to 2 root 3 plus root 2. If this is minus, then the conjugate is 2 root 3 plus root 2. This one. So this one, it's always factors of difference of 2 squares. Difference of 2 squares. Like when you are given a minus b, na a plus b. These are the conjugate. This one is a conjugate to this. Factors of difference of 2 squares. They are conjugate of each other. So therefore, a minus b, na a plus b. The same case applies to this. So therefore, you take this. You take your equation, take 3 root 2 minus root 3 over 2 root 3 minus root 2. You get like that. So therefore, multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate. So multiply by 2 root 3 plus root 2 all over 2 root 3 plus root 2. This one, the conjugate of this one, is 2 root 3 plus root 2. This one is the one that you multiply both the numerator and denominator. So now you can first of all multiply the numerator. You can first of all expand the numerator. Expand the numerator. This one here, you take 3 root 2 to open this 3 root 2, open 2 root 3 plus root 2. You apply the expansion in form 2. How to expand? So 3 root 2, open 2 root 3 plus root 2. And then you take minus root 3, you open 2 root 3 plus root 2. This is the denominator. This is the numerator. That's the numerator. That is the numerator. So you first of all finish up with the numerator. So you take this. Now, 3 root 2 times 2 root 3. You take 3 times 3, 3 times 2, that is 6. Root 2 times root 3, that is root 6. So the first one, you get 6 root 6. That's step number 1. Go to the second one. Go to the next. 3 root 2 times root 2. So you multiply this root 2 times root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. So you get plus 3 root 4. We have not simplified. Let it remain as root 4. Then minus root 3 times root 3. That is, you get 2 root 9. Not yet simplified. Then you take this minus and this is plus in integers. If you are multiplying a negative and a positive, you get a negative. So root 3 times root 2, that is minus root 6. So first of all, finish up with the numerator. Then we go to the denominator. So you take this 6 root 6 plus 3 root 4. Root 4 is the same as saying 3 times 2. Minus 2 times root 9 is 3. Minus root 6. Minus root 6. You get like that. So therefore you say 6 root 6 plus 6 minus 6. You get that? Then minus root 6. Plus 6 minus 6. This becomes 0. So therefore, your numerator here, your numerator would be equals to 6 root 6, 6 root 6 minus root 6. 6 root 6 minus root 6. So this is the same as 6 root 6 minus root 6. This is 1. This is 1 root 6. So you get 6 minus 1, you get 5 root 6. This is numerator. That's numerator. That's the answer for the numerator. Then you go to the denominator. Go to the denominator now. You did it there. So you have finished with the numerator. So go to the denominator. Select the denominator here. Denominator. Denominator, you get 2 root 3 minus root 2 and 2 root 3 plus root 2. We said that the numerator, the denominator, these are factors of difference of two squares. When you are given a minus b, a plus b. If you expand this, you will get a squared minus b squared. A squared minus b squared. So therefore, you can also apply the same concept, because it's the same concept that you need to apply to work on this. A squared minus b squared. So what do? You take this one, you can see a minus b, a plus b. You can see that the negative one, the factor that is negative 1, when it is, you expand, you get a squared minus b squared. The same case applies to this. This one, you take the one that is negative 2 root 3 squared minus root 2 squared. Because you get the same thing. If you expand this, you get a squared minus b squared. So what is 2 squared? That is 4. 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. Root 3 squared is 3. And then root 2 squared is 2. So this becomes 12 minus 2. You get 10. You get 10 like that. You get 10 like that. So you get 10 like that. So that's what you get 10. So now, write your final answer. Your final answer will be what? Numerator over denominator. So you have answer here now. 5 root 6 all over 10. 5 root 6 all over 10. Remember root 6, this one can be simplified as root 3, root 2. But it can still remain like that. So this answer here, you divide 5 and by 5 forward by 5 2. So your final answer in this case will be equals to root 6 all over 2, which is the same as saying a half root 6. A half root 6. A half root 6. So a half root 6. A half root 6. So that is the final answer. The final answer in that question. The final answer in that question. So therefore the answer there is a half root 6. You can write that. So this is the final answer. So you don't have to simplify root 6. So it can remain like that. So that is the end of that surd question. So therefore, in this kind of question, just understand the concept that you need to use. So you can see we have gone back to concept in form 2. That is on identities, quadratic identities. That is on difference of two squares. So this concept here, this is very easy to use. A minus b, a plus b. It is a squared minus b squared. So therefore, you check the one that is negative of these two conjugate. This conjugate to this one. Take the one that is negative. Specifically, the one that is negative. You square. 2 squared, 4. Root 3 squared, 3. 4 times 3, 12. Root 2 squared, 2. 12 minus 2, 10. Now take numerator over denominator. And then be done with that kind of question. And that is how you solve a question on surds. So thank you very much. Asante sana.